Need some coins for that God Squad you've always wanted? For the cheapest and fastest coins anywhere, make sure to check out MMOEXP.com and use code ZIRK for 5% off your order. Link is in the description.
The whole thing wobbin', wobbin'. When I come around, got the whole thing wobbin'.
Today we're going to be talking about abilities in Madden 23 and currently the best abilities to use on your team, offense and defense. Now, of course, that can change depending on your play style, but I'm going to go over which abilities I have used, which abilities seem to have worked, which abilities may not work currently in the game, and which ones you may want to be using. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Camstuff for being a part of the Noti Gang. If you guys want a chance to be shout out in the next video, drop a like in the vid, make sure you guys are subbed to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and comment down below, Noti Gang. And also, I do believe this video is going to be going up on Saturday, so if you guys want to check out Underdog Fantasy, you definitely want to do it now before Best Ball Mania fills the $10 million prize pool tourney, but also I'm doing 5 $100 Underdog Fantasy credit giveaways right now over on Twitter. All you guys got to do, use code ZIRK when you sign up on Underdog Fantasy. If you already have and you use code ZIRK, you're good to go. Retweet that tweet right there. It'll be linked at the top of the comment section. Follow myself on Underdog Fantasy, and I'm choosing winners on Sunday. Let's talk about abilities, and of course, we're going to start off on the offensive side of the ball. And let's talk about what abilities I currently am using right now. Now, of course, the abilities that I use may be different than you, right? Because we all run different offenses. Maybe you like to run the ball a lot. Maybe you like to throw the ball deep, which, I mean, pass rush is pretty crazy. So, I mean, consistently throwing the ball deep may not work the best for you. Maybe you just check the ball down a lot, right? Personally, the way that I do my offense, I will say if I can run the ball, I will run the ball, right? I like to check it down a lot because people this year just don't really like to play the flats, just kind of how the game works. People are so scared about throwing like corner routes that they'll just leave the flats open. So I pretty much take what the defense gives me. I will run if I can. If I have to check down 20 times a game, then I will throw the ball to the running back 20 times a game. I don't care. If you give me the corners, I'll do that. But I pretty much set up my offense to beat the meta of defense right now, which is press man. Now, as of this very moment, guys, when it comes to offensive abilities on your QB, I don't really feel like there are any that I really care about. To be honest, like the best one to use right now, is there even one? Like you could say quick draw maybe because that helps you when you're under pressure, but QBs that like get quick draw currently, you have Jalen Hurts, who has senses pressure as paranoid. So like when he actually gets under pressure, it's just an inaccurate throw every single time. And there's really not any other ability I would even care to use on a QB currently. Now when we get set feet lead or pass leader lead or gunslinger, that's different. Then I'm going to change up my team quite a bit and be running that, of course, because that helps, you know, either get the ball quicker out of your hands or get the ball to the receiver quicker. So yeah, currently I just don't really feel like there's any abilities worth running on any QBs. Now in terms of X factors, I like Gambit. I do like Gambit a lot. It is faster passes that can't be picked off by AI defenders. Really, all I care about is the faster passes, which I use Aaron Rodgers, who currently has the quickest release in the game. And when you get Gambit activated, it's even quicker, right? Now, aside from that, though, you can run Omaha, shows the defensive coverage on the DBs. You can definitely use that. Personally, I just like Gambit because I feel like I'm pretty good at reading coverages already as soon as I snap the ball, and mostly because everyone just runs press man at this point, so I don't really feel like I need to run that. I just run Gambit. As for like escape artist, whatever, it's just really, really hard to activate. If you guys don't know what Gambit is, it is make consecutive passes for 5+ yards in the air. I want to say it's 5 passes in a row, 5+ yards in the air. Might be wrong by saying that, but I think it's like 5. I don't really pay attention to it much. Now, when it comes to your running backs, you will see that I have recuperation on DeMarco Murray. X factor wise, I think you definitely want to go with freight train, of course, but recuperation. Why am I using recuperation? To be honest, it's because I just have 1 AP available on my offense, and I use them a lot. I use my running backs a lot in my offenses currently. It's not really a crazy ability. They just recover from fatigue at an increased rate, but I like to have my stud running back on the field as much as I can, especially with the way that I'm currently running my offense. But I would not say recuperation is like a crazy good ability to be using out here at all. In terms of the best ones, like offensively, goal line back, 3 AP, it's not worth it, right? I mean, it literally only activates for 5 yards of the field. I'm not wasting 3 AP on an ability to only work within 5 yards. That's just not worth it to me. Jukebox is 2 AP. A lot of people like this. I don't really want to use the 2 AP there. I think really the only good abilities currently in the game for running backs you want to run would either be recuperation if you use them a lot like I do, or Bulldozer. Bulldozer's pretty good. Once we get something like Backfield Master that allows you to get more routes out of your running back, especially that Texas route, which is just so good, especially everybody running like press man right now, that would be awesome to get. When that comes out, I recommend that. Again, recuperation is like, it's not crazy. It's just I have the extra AP to throw somewhere. Now, wide receivers, though, this is where you probably want to use a lot of your AP. Now, currently, we have Michael Crabtree in the game, and I will say this. When it comes to exact abilities for your team, this comes down to what do you run in your offense, right? How do you combat the current defenses we are facing right now? Well, personally, I run a lot of short in routes. Maybe I throw the corner routes, whatever, which when I have Donald Parham, I have deep out on him. But I like to use short in elite a lot because a lot of those throws that I'm making are those short ins, right? I'm throwing in routes, I'm throwing slants, I'm throwing drags, stuff that can actually beat man coverage. And a lot of people on defense are running stuff like medium route KO, whatever, to try and get more knockouts. So you want to have something like short in elite, which is improved catching on short passes inside the numbers to try to combat that and catch the ball better, right? Not have drops, convert on those crucial downs, especially with how close defenders are right now when they're in man coverage. A lot of times you'll catch the ball, and if you don't have something like short in elite, whatever, you might drop the ball. So that's obviously really big to run stuff like short in elite, deep out elite as well. If you want, I guess, mid in, mid out, I would rather use like short in elite or deep out elite in my opinion. Those are like the two best ones for me. And then slot apprentice, which Crabtree gets for 1 AP, is so nice. It is so good to have out here because you get the corner routes, you get the post routes, you get a lot of good stuff out of your slot receiver for just 1 AP, but that's only on Crabtree. And then, of course, if you guys want, you can use something like Outside Apprentice on Randy Moss. But for me, I currently have 2 short in elites with Jefferson and Crabtree. When I need them, I throw to them, they get the catch. Offensively, on the offensive line, you'll notice I'm doing something different that maybe not a lot of people do. I am running 2 post-ups on the O-line. The 2 offensive lineman abilities that I would say you should probably use, aside from if you want to, you can use, threat detector here. If I go ahead and just unlock this showcase for you guys, threat detector, it highlights blitzers during the pre-play on 3rd and 4th down. I mean, you can do that. Edge protector, you can run that if you want to, but I really don't think it's worth it at this point because your tackles are just bad. Your tackles are just really bad. But I actually run 2 post-ups. You might be like, Zirk, why do you run 2 post-ups? What is post-up? Well, post-up is a very good ability. It is dominant when engaged in double team blocks. As I said, I like to run the ball a lot, right? And what is everybody running right now? They're running the 3-3-5 defense, right? They're running 3-3-5 with only 3 down linemen. Well, if there's 3 down linemen and there's 5 O linemen, that means 2 players are getting double teamed. So for me, I have on my left guard and my right guard post-up. Now, this isn't really going to help you when it comes to the pass game right now with how the O-line is, but in the run game, this is where you're going to notice it. You are definitely going to notice it in the run game. A lot of times it will light up, and pretty much what will happen is, let's say I double team the defensive end on the left side, right? So the tackle and Bruce Matthews are going to both come up to the line of scrimmage, and they're going to go up, and they're going to push on that defensive end, right? Well, then Bruce Matthews will touch him. He'll, light up, and then boom, instantly pretty much go to the next level. So I like to run the ball a lot, right? I run a lot of inside zones. So I either double team maybe the DT if they have inside stuff. I pretty much look for whoever's inside stuff there. And I have 2 guards with post up. So if you have 3 down linemen, it's not going to end up too well for you. Now in the future, if O-line play gets a little bit better, maybe you want to go ahead and use like an edge protector. But I have 2 post-ups on my right guard and my left guard because offensively, I'm pretty much combating what the defense is doing right now because I feel like it's not so much a defense has to stop offense game. It's more of a offense has to beat the defense because man blitz is crazy. Then I also have Donald Parham with deep out elite. As I told you guys, you can definitely run deep out elite because it's really good. And I throw those deep corner routes to Parham. He's 6'8" with deep out elite. Yeah, he is nasty. So that is currently what I run on my offense. We have Parham with 3 AP deep out, which is a big reason as to why I have DeMarco Murray with recuperation because that's where my odd AP number comes from. I have 2 post-ups to help me in the run game, and then Michael Crabtree and Justin Jefferson with short in, and Crabtree as slot apprentice. And again, post-up isn't really going to help you too much when it comes to the pass game with how bad the O-line is, but in the run game, it works really well. And I definitely like to run the ball a lot right now. Now, getting into the defense side of the ball, what abilities work on defense? Well, this kind of comes down to what you are currently running on your defense. What type of defense do you run? Are you a man press? Are you a zone type of guy? You're probably a man press, right? Well, let's talk about different abilities, different positions. On safeties, JEVON Holland, right? I like to have universal coverage on my safety that kind of roams over the middle of the field, because if JEVON Holland gets an interception, then he's going to start lighting up, right? And then he gets improved coverage and catch knockouts and man and zone. Now, personally, I will let you guys know I'm not the type of person that is going to sit there and just man blitz, man blitz, man blitz. That's not me. I run some man, but I also run zone as well. So I kind of, to be honest with you guys, right now am waiting to get more corners to get more zone abilities. But what I like to do defensively right now is completely eliminate the run and have a studly pass rusher, and then just kind of have my cornerbacks be able to do whatever, and I'll showcase that. But when it comes to JEVON Holland, I'll let you guys know right now, I have tried deep out zone on him and also deep in, but as I said, Holland for me kind of plays in that middle, okay? So deep in zone, I used it. It didn't seem that good. He would light up, he'd try to come down and make a play on the ball, and it just didn't really work too well. Deep out zone is definitely a lot better. Now, if you're someone that maybe runs, you know, cover 3, right? If you run like cover 3 and they're in those outside thirds, well, that's going to help you a lot more. So I actually like running that in corners, which currently I'm not running it, but I'm recording this video Friday night. Saturday, we have the McAllister coming out, which I think is the day this video is going live. We have McAllister. He gets deep out zone, I think powered up for 2 AP. That's a card I want because he's going to be playing in those outside thirds for me more than man. Now, Acrobat this year, guys, is 5 AP. I just don't think it's worth it. That is so much AP to be running. Pick Artist definitely works. You get better catching, improved stamina on interception returns. Some people like to use it because you get like better catching versus like Donald Parham, right? To try to get those interceptions over Parham. I'm not going to be using it. I would rather use something like medium route KO on corners, or I'll show you what I would rather use it on. Now, getting into linebackers. As you guys can see, Derek Johnson has Lurker. If you're going to run anything on middle linebackers, it should be Lurker. You get 1 AP on Derek Johnson. It actually allows him to animate. Now, I'm not using it right now just because I don't want to use the AP on Derek Johnson. I don't want to waste the 1 AP. It's not really a waste, but I just don't want to use it because then I'm going to be in a weird situation where, again, I have 1 AP to kind of throw on someone, and the 1 AP abilities on defense are not very good. One ability, though, I will say that is very, very good for pass rushers is Edge Threat. Now, Bruce Smith actually gets Edge Threat for 3 AP, but, again, it kind of comes down to how you play your defense, right? I run big nickel defense, which means that I actually have 2 down linemen on the interior, and I have 2 outside linebackers on the edge. Now, if you run Edge Threat, you want to make sure that your player is actually on the edge to get it to work. It definitely works. Edge Threat 100% works, and I notice it a lot in Lawrence Taylor. So much so that a lot of times I'll come into my big nickel, and I'll have Lawrence Taylor on the edge, and I'll have my 2 interior guys, and I'll have Vrabel on the other side. I know LT is going to beat that left tackle, so I will actually go ahead and just have a 3-man pass rush. I'll drop Vrabel into the flats to kind of cover the running back. Now, some other abilities that do work on defense under pressure, right? Under pressure for 2 AP, but the thing is, like, you could run under pressure for 2 AP, but I just feel like with how good pass rush is, right? You don't necessarily need it because you're probably going to get in and get close enough to the QB on almost every single throw to activate under pressure, right? I would rather have Edge Threat to get in there quicker to get close enough to activate the inaccurate throws from pressure rather than have under pressure and still have to disengage from the O-lineman to get in. Because if you're going to disengage from the O-lineman like pretty quickly, I feel like you're already going to be close enough without using under pressure, if that makes sense. Now, some other abilities that I have tried. I tried Unpredictable. I know last year was pretty solid for 1 AP. I didn't really notice it, to be honest. I don't really think it made a difference at all. Double or Nothing. I know some people run Double or Nothing. It's 3 AP here on LT, though. But I will tell you, 4 AP for Edge Threat on LT, I feel like it's worth it. I feel like it makes him a dominant pass rusher, and it's worth it to me. Now, when we actually come down to the defensive line, though, as I told you guys, you can use Bruce Smith and you can use Edge Threat on him for 3 AP there, and you'll be good to go. But I also do want to mention there is one AP ability that I've seen some people running. I haven't got to use it myself. I think it's tier 1. Ripper. Yeah, Ripper right here. Rip rush moves, partially ignore blocker resistance. I really don't know if it works all that well because I know stuff like Spinner, swim club just doesn't really seem to work. But it seems like people who maybe use lurker on Derek Johnson and have that like 1 AP to throw somewhere, I've seen a lot of people using Ripper, but I'm just gonna let you know I haven't had the chance to use it. So if you want to, let me know down below if it works out for you. I'm still testing out some stuff, but I've used a lot of different abilities. But as I said, defensively, I like to shut down the run. So how do you do that? I have 2 inside stuffs. Now, to me, I feel like on defense, you don't necessarily need inside stuff. For those of you guys that are playing defense and maybe you're wondering, why is my opponent able to run the ball so easily on me? Why do I feel really slow when I'm trying to beat somebody to the edge? It's probably because you're pass committing, right? If you pass commit this year, you don't get weak boxed like Madden 22, which is pretty much where you would get pancaked. You just get super slow. Like your players get very, very slow. So don't pass commit if you don't know for sure your opponent's gonna be passing the ball. But regardless, I like to run 2 inside stuffs because most people, as I showed you guys, I have 2 post-ups, right? Most people might have 1 post-up on their O-line, or even some people don't run any O-line abilities. A good amount of people don't. If you don't have like post-up or whatever, they can still double team someone who has inside stuff, and that should stop it. But if you have 2 inside stuff people, which I do, I have Sam Adams and I have DeMarcus Lawrence, yeah, they just absolutely come in screaming because it just doesn't work, right? So Sam Adams and D-Law, double inside stuffs, I feel like is amazing. And as I said, I just like to stop the run. I want to let my opponent know you cannot run the ball on me. So D-Law, Sam Adams, they are in there to stop the run. And then when I know for sure that my opponent's gonna be passing the ball, then I put in Bruce Smith. So Bruce Smith, Sam Adams, they kind of alternate for me. If you guys know me, you know, I always say this every year. I don't use DTs. This is the one exception because currently we don't have a right end in the game. Then I would rather use over Bruce Smith. And once we get like a really good right end that's a run stopper and can actually get inside stuff for 2 AP, then this will change. But for now, Sam Adams and D-Law, these 2 have been amazing for me in stopping the run. And then on my corners, you guys will notice I am running 2 medium route KOs. It is improved knockouts and man versus medium routes. Simple as that, right? As I told you guys earlier, when I had my short end, right? My short end elites, my deep out elites, that's to get better catches. This is to knock the ball out right here with medium route KO. Now also, you can run inside shade. That also works, but that's 3 AP. Personally, I'd rather use like medium route KO, but honestly, overall, I'm really waiting to get better corners that have like a zone archetype, so that way I can get deep out zone, because that's really what I want, is to probably be using 2 deep out zones, because as I said, I do like to run zone a lot. I like to run cover 3 as well. I'll make some adjustments to it, but I do tend to have 2 corners drop back to those outside thirds, so I would like to have 2 deep outs, but with the current meta as well, I'm not moving away from doing man blitzes, but I don't do it as much as most people do. So definitely, in my opinion, medium route KO, inside shade is also another one that does work. I don't really see people running deep route KO. It's mostly medium route, inside shade, or pick artist, as I said earlier. And the same thing with L'Jarius Sneed. I'm currently running medium route KO on him. So defensively, guys, I'm running an edge threat, which is very good when it comes to coming around that edge. I have 2 inside stuffs to stop the run, and then I have 2 corners with medium route KO. Now, I've seen some people maybe take Lawrence Taylor and put under pressure on him. That's actually what I used to do, is have LT with under pressure, and then I would have 3 corners with medium route KO. But here's the thing. I feel like you want to utilize your AP on offense and also defense to what you really do all the time. As I said, I don't sit in man coverage the entire game, right? That's not how I run my defense. So I would rather have 1 corner on the field, which would be Sidney Jones, who doesn't have medium route KO, and instead have Lawrence Taylor every single play have edge threats. So those, in my opinion, guys, are the best abilities to use right now defensively. Edge threat, under pressure is pretty good. Deep out zone KO, deep in, as I said, didn't really seem to make a difference on JEVON Holland. Inside stuff, if you can have multiple of them, that's much better than having just 1. I feel like having 2 is like perfect if you do that. And then cornerbacks, really want to run either like inside shade or medium route KO right now. As I said, I know we have that new corner coming out today who's actually going to get deep out zone, and I definitely plan on powering him up and using that because that's just how personally I run my defense. And then offensively, post up is pretty solid. You can run short in elite, slot apprentice, outside apprentice, deep out elite as well. And again, the recuperation I have on DeMarco is just because that's personally how I run my offense and I had the extra AP. So let me know down below what you guys are currently running on your offense, on your defense, what abilities you are personally using. And you could also run, as I said, like Bulldozer. That works pretty well on running backs if you guys want to go ahead and do that. Jukebox if you want to. I wouldn't honestly run that. I'd rather use that elsewhere. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, check these out.